So Ray Fisher, Cyborg from Justice League, has some very interesting words on Twitter today. Now, since the Snyder Cut is coming out next year, I guess Ray Fisher is getting a lot of confidence and saying whatever he wants now. Just a few days ago, he took back every nice thing he ever said about Joss Whedon, and now today he was on Twitter and he said that Joss Whedon abused the cast and crew on set, and he was enabled by Geoff Johns and John Berg, the two guys that hired Joss Whedon. So I assume that's what enabled means, because it's not like John Berg and Geoff Johns are on set every day telling Joss Whedon to harass the cast and crew, right? So that's not what he meant. So I don't know if he used the word enabled correctly here, but in any case, he's making some pretty big claims against Joss Whedon, and it looks like Ray Fisher has no love for Joss Whedon. And John Berg was actually interviewed later in the day, and he gave a statement in response to what Ray Fisher said. And John Berg said that he remembered Ray Fisher not wanting to say the booyah line, and there was a dispute over that. And that's all John Berg said. So we got some conflicting narratives happening right now, which is always fun, because I highly doubt Ray Fisher would be that offended that he had to say booyah. So obviously there's some other thing that happened on set with Joss Whedon that was rubbing the cast the wrong way. Ray Fisher's obviously a big Zack Snyder supporter. Zack Snyder got Ray Fisher cast, so of course Ray Fisher would be on Zack Snyder's side. It's his first big movie ever, Justice League. And if Joss Whedon really did act like an asshole on set and was abusing the cast, then that sucks. And I can understand where Ray Fisher's coming from. But I do feel like it is kind of dumb of Ray Fisher to do this, especially right now. I think it would have been better timing if you waited till after the Snyder Cut comes out and then tell your behind-the-scenes stories on the first Justice League movie. It really doesn't feel like a smart career move for Ray Fisher, because you're putting directors and producers on blast. A lot of these producers and directors know a lot of other producers and directors. So, if you go at them sideways, they might go to their friends and tell them not to cast you in upcoming films. So that's why it's not a bright idea to do something like this. So Ray Fisher's probably not thinking too far ahead here. He's probably being very impulsive right now because he's excited. And, everybody finally gets to see his Cyborg in Justice League. A non-booyah Cyborg, which, I'm still kind of mixed on that. I really feel like Cyborg should say booyah at some point. But of course, that's the DC fan of me. That's my bias. But it was interesting how John Berg came out immediately and had a statement ready to go to, counteract what Ray Fisher was saying, and actually went right back at Ray Fisher. So there's some bad blood there for sure. But of course, it's going to be a while before we get the actual truth. Now, I know Joss Whedon is not the best person to work with on set. There's some stories like he's the greatest ever, and then there's some stories like he's a complete asshole. There's a lot of directors like that. Christopher Nolan has the same kind of stories about him. So I'm really interested to see what the abuse was. Is Ray Fisher going to give any details about that? That would be nice. Because if it really is just a dispute over booyah, then it's a little ridiculous that he put people on blast because of that. And it is a little dumb to do that, especially if these people you might run into later in the future. Because Ray Fisher is still a young actor. He hasn't got that many opportunities yet. And hopefully when the Snyder Cut comes out, he'll get more opportunities to play Cyborg in future films. And maybe he'll be a star in the future in some other films because he does have the acting ability. But that's it for now. Yeah, what do y'all think about Ray Fisher lashing out at Joss Whedon and John Berg actually defending himself? Of course, Geoff Johns has nothing to say because he's never been on the internet for the last 2 years. He only does special arranged interviews. So we're still yet to see what the hell is Geoff Johns' take on all this. We probably won't for a long time. We only really know one side of things. And it was just very interesting to see John Berg actually defending himself. Was not really expecting that. I was expecting him to stay quiet, just like Joss Whedon, who still hasn't said anything either. But still, very interesting to hear that Joss Whedon was causing a lot of on-set problems, and the cast did not like him that much, Ray Fisher included. But yeah, that's it for now. Comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.